everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I am going to be doing another one color challenge. So I've done purple, pink, and blue I think, and today we're going to be doing brown. I started out my drawing on Procreate. Well, actually, I was doing the drawing first and I was like, oh, I kind of want to color this traditionally. And so I just decided to make it into a challenge. So that is what we're doing today. Here is the printed artwork. I went with this colored line art because it's going to match the colors I'm going to be choosing. So this was me trying to decide if I wanted to do the brown or if I wanted to go with the yellow, because those are the two colors in mind. And I just ended up choosing brown. So these are all the colors I've gathered. Some of them do look red, but trust me, some of them are labeled brown, so I'm just gonna take it. Somehow this refill ink bottle ended up sneaking its way into the pile. Let's just put it away and continue. Anyways, these are the colors I chose. And I was honestly so confused when I was looking at these colors, because when I think about the past one color challenges I've done, like a blue, the blue would have a light, medium, and dark shade. But then with browns, if I want to do a light brown, it would have to be like a beige color, and I feel like that's a whole separate thing. Like, because I didn't include any of the beige, like the lighter colors, because I guess I don't consider that brown, but it might be a shade of brown. What do you guys think? Are beige colors a shade of brown, like a lighter shade? And so looking at this, I decided to organize it to see if I can do lightest to darkest, and it honestly did not help at all. All these colors, the colors were just so messed up. As you can see, this is the order from light to dark that I had lined up, and you can see how messed up all of the colors are. Like that, those first two colors are not the lightest colors in the set, so the caps weren't really matching correctly, or just I didn't know how to organize this at all. But after doing the swatches and labeling them, it did make it a little bit easier to see the colors that are actually in the cap. And from there, I just decided to do some little thumbnails just to kind of decide where I wanted the colors to be. And now I am working on her skin. I really wanted this drawing to have a nice light source. It was a little bit tricky for me at the beginning because I really didn't know which colors to use, but honestly I think it turned out fine. I do like the little highlight on her nose and her shoulder. I was gonna do one on her jaw, but that one was not turning out correctly, so I just shaded it in. And I know it kind of throws off the lighting a little bit because I do want the lighting to be coming off from the left side and then the right side kind of be in the shadow. And so with her chin kind of being contoured like that, it does throw it off a little bit. And since I was kind of thinking about doing a one color challenge, I really wanted this piece to have a whole bunch of accessories around it. Like, I wanted it to be super detailed with the line art with lots of textures and patterns, and so I decided to put her in this frame, which I really like. And then her jewelry as well is pretty cool. Her jewelry pattern is a bit weird. It definitely is not consistent, but you can't really tell until you look super closely. But from afar, it looks really interesting. I like the texture it adds to the piece. With one color challenges, you really have to add a whole bunch of texture or pattern or a nice detailed background for the artwork to really like stand out. And so I didn't really want to do a background, so I'm like, let's do accessories. But I do need to push myself to do more backgrounds though. But right now I'm really focusing on my anatomy and just doing more gestural sketches and actually being able to consistently draw good anatomy. Because I'm noticing with my drawings, sometimes my anatomy is really good and sometimes it's bad. I just want to have a nice consistent set of skills, I guess. Not some days my anatomy looks good and then some days it looks bad and it feels like, ooh, I was lucky today to have drawn this body correctly. I really just want to have the knowledge about the human form and how to draw it in different perspectives. And so I am taking little baby steps. First anatomy, and when I feel a bit more comfortable, then I will move on to like background designs and learning perspectives of landscapes and buildings and everything else. With the frame around the character, I really thought I wouldn't have fun coloring it, but it was actually so fun. It's just that I was like, how am I gonna shade it? How am I going to like nicely color this in? I did make a few mistakes colored outside of the lines, but I think I did really good with shading it. I like that I added those tiny little shadows inside the patterns and made those patterns really like pop out. So super happy with this piece. I do think the drawing does suffer a little bit because of the contrast. There's just not enough contrast in the piece at all, especially with the background that I end up putting her in. And I guess I'm gonna turn it to black and white so you guys can see if there's enough contrast. I don't think there's too much, but I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to leave the background completely white. The white background would have just made it look unfinished, and I couldn't do too much patterns because the frame already has so much happening. Imagine doing another pattern inside of or on the background. It would have just been too much. I did go ahead and pulled out my black pen to add some darker lines to the piece just because the colors were kind of just melting together. So I went around her eyes, her nose, some parts of her chin just to pull that out from the background. So yeah, I am just working on adding in those tiny little details and finalizing the piece. I totally went overboard on the gloss on her lips. She's definitely not a matte girl. She likes her glossy lipstick. And here is the final results. Check out these details. I'm actually so happy with the piece. I'm glad I added in her jewelry, the background design. Well, not really a background, but the frame design. So yeah, I will have this line art available for you guys to color as well. So if you want to do your own one color challenge, you are welcome to the line art. But I'm really happy with how her face turned out as well. I really like the highlight on her nose. I think the shading around her nose just looks really nice with her blush. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do like the video and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.